Okay, good morning, and thank you for the invitation to tell you a little bit about our woodlots. Wasn't expecting quite this big of an audience. Not a professional speaker by any means. Anyway, I've got just a few notes that I want to run through, and then we'll look at the interesting stuff on the slides. So, forestry is a part-time thing for us, but we try to run it in a business-like fashion. I do the field work, Judy keeps the books, and she tells me when I either need to generate more income or stop spending so much money. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that scenario. We rely on the foresters at the Western Woodlot Services Co-op for guidance and advice. They produce our woodlot management plans for us, and we use those a lot to plan activities and carry them out. We both appreciate the work which has been done on our woodlots by previous owners and family members, and our goal is to pass them on in as good a condition or better, hopefully, than what they were when we got them. We use our woodlots to harvest saw logs for income and firewood for home heating. We have set aside areas exclusively for wildlife, and we try and balance our harvest activities with biodiversity goals. Many community members use our lands for hunting and hiking. We own 7 different woodlots, which total about 350 acres. Some of that is hay fields, so it's about 300 acres of actual woodland that we're managing, I would say. They're all located within about a 5-kilometer radius of the Branch LaHave, New Canada, West Northfield, Wentzels Lake area in Lunenburg County. So having 7 smaller woodlots does raise some challenges. Of course, you're always moving equipment around. There's that many more property boundaries that have to be maintained. There's entrance roads and central roads in our lots. Fortunately, most of our lots do have good access roads, and we're working at the rest. We have been doing pre-commercial thinnings, manual weeding, fill planting, and selection harvests. The last few years we've had to alter our harvest plans because of the hemlock woolly adelgid. It has been confirmed on one of our lots, and I'm pretty sure it's on another one which is heavily forested with hemlock. So because of this, we have been harvesting more of the hemlock from some blocks than we normally would, but we're staying within our 30% allowable harvest as recommended by our management plans. We currently harvest about 100 to 120 tons of saw logs per year, plus about 3 cords of hardwood for our home heating. Some of our management plans are on hold, unfortunately, because we don't have a market for lower quality biomass type pulpwood. Before I start the slides, I'd just like to say thank you to the organizing committee for the Kids in the Forest and Woodlot Owner of the Year field days. It was a tremendous amount of work. We worked especially closely with Stephen Freeman, Dawson Lake, and Simon Mutabassi, who are all here today. And thank all the volunteers who pitched in to make it a success. So now I'm going to run through a few slides and we can talk about what we've been doing. Okay. I'm going to have to stand over here so I can see. All right, so that's us receiving the award for Provincial Woodlot Owner of the Year from our MLA, Becky Druin, at the field day. It was a rainy day, but it wasn't pelting rain.
It's on the side.
Turn it on.
On the side.
Oh, on the side, yeah.
We tested this morning.
Drop that one button, yeah. I think it was on.
It's on.
Yeah.
Should I turn it up?
Or we can advance them manually.
I hope that's not the only slide we have.
No, that's okay.
It's going to be either a short presentation or a long one. I'm not
Could you just say next and she can advance them for you?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, this is Judy and I again with the ceremonial planting of the tree, and we put our MLA Becky Drew into work. Actually, the tree was planted a couple of days prior to that. She's just holding a shovel full of ground there, looking busy, but she was a good sport about it. And they asked us what type of tree we wanted. We said a sugar maple. We don't have any sugar maple. I'd love to have more, but our land just doesn't support it in most locations, so we have one now. We'll see how it does. Just a few slides from our field day. That's Judy on the gator with her umbrella, trying to stay dry. Our daughter Jamie running the registration booth. Some scenes from the kids in the forest day. We didn't take a lot of pictures up close for privacy reasons. We didn't want to identify any of the children or anything, but that's a group moving off through the woodlot, and the buses lined up in the log yard leading into our woodlot. Just a couple scenes. The DNR helicopter was there. That was very popular with the students and the adults as well. Our old cockshut tractor just packed in the woods there as a display. I'm glad I don't have to log with that, although I know it was probably a step up for some people from oxen and horses, but not much of one. So this is some of the equipment we use. We don't have anything new or fancy. This is about an 80 horsepower John Deere tractor. It's 30 years old this year. We bought it new. We use the forks to pile logs and move them around, and a farmy logging winch on the back. I don't own a log trailer yet. I would kind of like to, but we just skid everything out. I'm kind of an expert at dragging wood on the ground, and it's about as technologically advanced as I am. So, our old winch, this is about 40 years old. It's bent and banged and twisted. It's a Farmy Model 500, and it's been a great piece of equipment. It's tough. I've rebuilt it once. I'm going to rebuild it again this summer, but trouble-free and tough, and does a good job. 150 feet of cable. You can get a long way off the road and pick stuff out. It works really well for us. My power saws that I use, the one on the left, the 359, my next door neighbor actually gave me that saw. And it's the first one I've ever had with heated handles. It's a nice feature on a cold morning. And the little red marks on the right, before you laugh, it's a good little saw. I use it for pre-commercial thinning, or I used to. Works good, turns up nice. Keep it sharp, does a good job. This clearing saw we actually received as a prize for winning Provincial Woodlot Owner of the Year. I've put one tank of gas through it so far just to try it out, and I think I'm going to like it. It's much better than being hunched over with a power saw in your hands trying to do a pre-commercial thin. So I'm looking forward to putting some hours on that. A few years ago, we decided that with so many roads and to look after and snow plowing and stuff in the lots in the winter, we originally set out to try to buy an excavator, but when we kind of thought about having 7 lots spread around over an area, every time we needed to move, we'd have to float. So not owning a float, we decided to go the backhoe route. And this has worked out well for us. I've heard somebody say that a backhoe is useful for a lot of things, but not particularly good at anything, which is kind of true, but we do a fair amount of work with it, and it works well for us. A little dump trailer, 10 foot, we use that to haul firewood, move some wood around, gravel, and the gator that we've had for a little over 20 years. That's handy for pulling the wood splitter or moving wood around, you can haul gravel on it. It's got a little dump box. That works well for us. So these are wood lots. This is in New Canada. This is the lot that Judy and I bought when we were first married. It's about 75 acres, a couple of hay fields there. We've done, when we bought it, it had no access road at all. So all the roads that are there, we've either had built for us or we have built them. We've done a lot of PCT work on that. Used to have a tree lot on it, Christmas tree lot, that has grown up. Next slide. So when I turned 60, I thought I'm going to build myself a little camp. So that's the camp I built on that property out of pine lumber that we had sawn, or that I cut off that property. The logs were of poor quality, so we got somebody with a portable sawmill to saw the logs out, and that camp is built with pine boards, essentially. Our firewood processing yard, we make our piles. They're 12 feet long, 4 feet high, 16 inches, so half a cord in a pile. That way, if we have any extra that we want to sell, it's easy to, it's already pre-measured. We can just throw it on the trailer and go with it. This is the first pre-commercial thin that I did on this property in 2019. It's doing very well. A lot of fir, unfortunately, so we're hoping that in a few years' time there's a market for low-grade wood because we're going to need one. I remember this PCT particularly well because it's about 10 acres and it took me 109 tanks of gas with the power source, so I punched over. I still feel that one. That was my first experience with pre-commercial thin. This is an abandoned hayfield on the same property that grew up in what we call pasture pine. So I went in and did a commercial thin or selection harvest. Most of the wood that was cut was so inferior that it was only good. I just left it lay. It will rot up and hopefully put some nutrients back into the soil. Next slide, please. Just another view of the same thing. And then 2 years ago, 2 springs ago, I bought 1,000 white spruce and red spruce mixed seedlings and interplanted the whole thing, and they're doing very well. Those have only been in the ground for 2 years, and they've already got significant growth on them. Now, one of the roads that I built with the backhoe, it looks like the ditches on the right, kind of looks like the right-hand shoulder is higher than the ditch. It's not. I think it's just the way I was standing with the camera, but so you can build a road with a backhoe. It's not fast, but on a hot August day when it's too hot to do much else, you can sit in the backhoe and pick away at a road. Another little spur road that I'm working on currently when I get, well, not right now, but when it dries up, I'll pick along with that. I have to pass the ready-mix plant on my way to the woodlot, so I take my little dump trailer, stop in, get 1.5 tons of Class C gravel, take it with me, dump it, spread it, construct some more road, and do it over again. Another piece of property that we own, this one was in my family since the early 80s. It's about a 12-acre hayfield and a 12-acre woodlot. This we haven't done anything with. We kind of set it aside as a nature preserve. There's quite a nice stream that runs through it, runs through the back half of it, and you can see on the left the old bridge abutments there. Must have been a wooden bridge there at some point. So we've left that woodlot alone, and I got 5 minutes, so we're going to move it along. just a sample of some of the wood that's on that lot. Another lot that we have, this one is a Christmas tree lot on the number 5 there, and then an older pre-commercial thin that someone else had done, and some hemlock that are ready to be thinned. This is the lot that the Woodlot Owner of the Year Field Day was held on. It's about 50 acres. A lot of hemlock, a lot of nice timber on this particular lot. This is where I've been doing a lot of work lately. Selection harvesting the hemlock. You can see that stand on the left, almost exclusively hemlock. So I had pre-tagged and then went in and started cutting just before and after. Some of the logs, there's a hitch on behind the tractor. I tend to pile them up with the forks, mainly because I only have so much room on my landings. Just another log picture. I like looking at piles of logs. This is a before. This is before I did any work in this particular block. Another before picture. Well, it's just for interest's sake. I was going to cut this big old hemlock until I looked closely and see the wire sticking out of it there. So I just got back in the tractor and drove away. Best to just leave that one. This is just some after pictures of after the harvesting was complete. You can just keep right on going. Same thing. There's a big old 3-top pine that I just girdled, tried to, so that it would die and provide habitat, and I wouldn't crush so much of the new growth when I cut it down. It really had no marketable wood in it, but that's one way to deal with those if you want to just get rid of them. After harvest again, this is what I've been doing this past winter, that's why I got a fair number of pictures of this one. Same thing, a little skidding road. The tractor's only slightly over 7 feet wide, so you really don't need much of a road to get through if you're going straight. Same thing, there's some regen, nice regen there, so I just did a little patch out around. Little road I put in with the backhoe and the dump trailer. This lot is back on Lake Mushamush. It's about 85 acres. This one actually was purchased by Judy's grandmother at a sheriff's sale many, many years ago. On the right-hand corner near the top, that's the Boy Scouts of Canada camp. If anybody is familiar with Boy Scouts, that's where their camp is. So our woodlot kind of surrounds it. On this woodlot was the first time we had done any large-scale commercial harvesting. It was coordinated by the Western Woodlot Services Co-op. Eisner's Forestry did the work. We were pleased with the job they did. I forget how many acres they had covered, but they took out like 700 tons of wood in less than 2 weeks. So the scale of it is phenomenal. Just some of the wood piled up from the job they had done. Me cleaning up some lowdowns. Another lot in Upper Northfield, 2 lots. One of our red pine plantations that we don't know what to do with, and then a significant number of those things on the right, which I believe are Norway spruce that somebody had planted at some point, and they're multi-top porcupine magnets, so those should go. Just a sample of the wood that's there. A few interesting things. A little squirrel has moved into our birdhouse. At some point, he decorated it with a little bit of bling there. I don't know where he found it. This is on one of the line fences on one of the properties. Just imagine the work. At some point, the old guys went in there and stood that rock in a hole and fastened the fences to it. Birdhouse I put up. When I would get lonesome, I'd go stand by the fence and talk to Kevin's cows, Kevin Vina's cows there. And to finish off, this is an old sugar maple tree, one of the few that we have on the New Canada property. It's almost completely hollow. There's a little spruce tree growing out of the top of it there. And I guess the message would be where there's life, there's hope, because it's clinging there to the top of that sugar maple. So it's a presentation. Thank you very much.